what we actually can observe more often and often is that we talk about in media more and more. It's a kind of global movement concerning mind over matter. Everybody wants to implement mind over matter. So we have this discipline and we implement the knowledge, and we also build up our self-consciousness because we want to implement mind over matter in our lives. But why do we have, or have we ever asked these questions? Why do we want to implement this mind over matter in our lives? All these areas like self-discipline and self-consciousness and building up the knowledge, they have common denominator, we can say. What is the common denominator? The common denominator is logic. Because why do we want to implement this mind over matter? Of course, when we talk about the financial stuff, when we talk about the legal stuff, we want to implement, we want to have the right that the logic, it's on our side, that the facts are on our side, that the being righteous is on our side. And we always implement this mind over matter, if you think about it for a second, always in the same area. When we talk about the money, we want to implement the mind over matter when we talk about the money. When we feel that somebody lied to us or took advantage of us, we want to implement in the same area, and that's what we do. So let's take another example. But do we implement mind over matter in the areas of our life when we are not aware pretty much about it? For example, I'm driving a car, and I'm really driving the car with my family on the board, and I really take care of them. So I'm driving cautiously, and there is a woman or another driver behind me who is honking at me and waving with hands and showing me that, come on man, move forward or go on a side. But I'm still driving the same. I'm not paying attention. I just want to control my car and the car when the family is on it. So I'm not paying attention to that driver behind me. I want to be in a control. But on the top of that, your partner or your wife now is giving you a hard lesson, because she is telling you while you're driving that the driver behind us, it's right. That it is our fault or my fault that I'm driving this way. Now there is not only one person, as you can see, but there are two, even the closest to us, the person who we love. It's bugging us, it's showing us that we are wrong. How do you feel now? How do we feel now? Now it's much difficult to deal with this. It's much difficult. Something is awaking in me. Something, this feeling of chaos, this feeling of lack, this feeling of pain is awakening me. Why this is happening to me? You see, so this kind of feeling, it's also a cause that I want to implement something not to feel so guilty. So I implement the logic that I was driving in a proper way, that I was driving in a right way. I use my logic. I implement mind over matter so I can inject and prove it to other people that I was right, that other people are wrong. This is what usually happens to us. But let's take another example. Let's say that you have acquaintances or friends or somebody from your family that whenever they ask you, you always help. Wherever they ask you, you're always there. They call you, you go to help. They call you to borrow something, you always, or of course, give. And there is no problem with that. But once on a time, you ask her, your cousin, for help, let's say, or somebody who is close to you. And she said, for example, that she would do it, and she didn't do it. Then you ask again for help. Whether she could come and pick up something from your house, and she said she would and she wouldn't have done that. How do you feel? On the top of that, you text a message about, let's say, going together somewhere, and she said yes, she would go. So you have confirmation that she confirmed that she would go, and she wouldn't have. So everything what she says is against kind of whatever has been agreed. How do you feel now? You are crushed. This person is crushing you down. It's crushing you. You don't know what to do. Who is right or who is not? Now, usually in this case, we need to implement mind over matter. What does this mean? We are trying to use logic that we were right. We are trying to use logic. We are trying to use mind over matter. That we are not responsible for what is happening here. Like on this road, I was not responsible that somebody was honking at me. So I try to use logic. Therefore, mind over matter, when we feel lack, when we feel pain, when we feel this way of unfairness in us, when we feel a doubt, when the ego is victimized, then of course we use a logic. But this logic is not mind over matter. We call that because when we talk about the money, think about it for a second. When we talk about the financial stuff, when we talk about the legal stuff, when we talk about the family, when we talk about any others area, and we implement mind over matter, we are really and actually talking about ego. We are talking about something that it's material. It's physical. So how can we implement mind over matter? We can't, because this is logic, and logic it's ego. So when we feel the pain, it's already ego. It's not mind over matter. It's not mind over matter. We need, of course, all these situations, but to understand why they are happening, we should know how to implement mind over matter. What is the proper way to implementing that? So, because when we implement something on the pain and we try to prove it who is right and who is wrong, then we just implement egoistical answers. That's the effect of everything. But we should pay attention, what is the cause? What is the cause of that? And the cause, the step before, it's the pain I was feeling in the car. It's the pain when you were crushed by your friend. That's what's going on here. This is the closest cause of everything what is happening around us. So when we feel the pain, now the logic pops up, and the logic tells us, feel the pain, feel the doubt, do something about it. Why? Because when we drive the car, you know that when you don't see the car upcoming in your mirror, there is a blind spot. It's a blind spot. We don't see the car. And if we don't see, we want to turn left or turn right, depends on the situation. Because we don't see. So we have to do it. And when we do it, it's ego. And when we do it because it's a pain. Because we don't know what to do next. So, what are the proper way of doing? The next time when you receive a phone call from your CPA, the next time when you receive a message you don't want to receive, the next time somebody is shouting at you, or giving you a hard lesson of life, and you feel this pain, the logic says, do something good even to this person. Do something righteous. That's the way of logic. The logic wants to implement as some kind of action, to use something to do, but we shouldn't do. First of all, we should accept the pain. First of all, we should agree with the pain, reconcile with the pain, feel it, the pain, so deep and so accept it. Inhale this pain so deeply that you don't have to anymore go and say back to that person. Don't feel that you are crushed by this person. If you feel still that you are crushed, it means you haven't accepted that pain. But if you feel afterwards that now I can do as a next step, you can do, for example, a call to that person and talk about something else, not why she was late or why she didn't come up on time, just forget it about it, then that is the proper way of mind over matter. Because now you see, now we are implementing something that is over matter. That is over matter, because the pain, the feeling, the emptiness, the unfairness now, this is something we should implement. That is the place we should implement mind over matter. We should be over matter, beyond the logic, beyond the matter, not focusing on the matters. And that's what we have been doing all our life, implementing mind over matter in the areas we shouldn't have been implementing. So next time, 2 steps. First, you receive whatever that is, this painful lesson, implement, accept deeply what is happening to you. So deep that you are not interested in proving that somebody was wrong. When you do that, and you have no other reason coming back again and again and talk about it, who was right and not, then is the place for second step, to do something. Could be positive, could be less positive, but this action will be coming from mind over matter, spiritual mind over matter, and that is the proper way to deal with it. All the best.